Good Sunday morning to you all. It's wonderful to be with you this morning. It's absolutely wonderful to be with you. As the cast of thousands in the audience right now. And we are virtual, but when feeling safe, we would love to see your faces in person, and we'll let you know when that is. But our safety and your safety is our greatest concern. So today we have a wonderful program. I am Reverend Pam Geagan, the senior minister, but we have our Rev Lynn Chaplain Noe, Buzz Noe, Lissa Coffey is our guest speaker along with me, and our wonderful Bill Rotella, inspirational music, and our lead practitioner, Pamella Bailey, with Centering for Years. Yay, yay! So on this note, I now would like to invite our wonderful Rev Lynn Chaplain Noe up, and I am wiping the mic. I wish I could do this more gracefully. 2 out of 3 takes a village. Takes a village.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Pleasant Valley. Our vision is awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence, and the way we do that is teaching and demonstrating spiritual principles for living an abundant, fulfilling life in a welcoming, compassionate community. And we have the flames of faith. These are, and what a wonderful memory that is. The flames of faith are all of the religions in the world that step forward in love and goodwill. And there are many religions in the world, Buddhism, Sufism, Judaism, Christianity. There are whole bunches of them, and they all step forward in love because there's that one fine thread that runs through every religion, and that thread is love. We are love. We come from love, and we honor the oneness within us all. And now it is my pleasure, and an esteemed pleasure actually, to read the quote by our wonderful Betty Ann Brennan. And please say this along with me, everyone who's watching and everyone here, all the throngs in the audience here. Together, I always rest in oneness with the divine. I release every superficial trial as I expand my consciousness to envelop the magnificent splendor I express here and now. From the center to the circumference of the earth and into the reaches of space, the same divine mind is there to greet me. Like the Magi of old, I calmly, resolutely follow the light of inner guidance into indescribable good. I take time to chart my course and honor my light. And I just want to say this right now. I would appreciate having that. So if that were online that is a great lesson in itself. It's a beautiful quote. Thank you so much, Reverend Betty Ann, for being this divine presence with us at all times. And of course, now it is my pleasure to introduce, and this is a wonderful honor to do this, Lissa's wonderful video from Do You Know Who You Are? And this is, what is this on the charts now? No? It's Buzz with, okay, then save that, Lissa. Save that. Bring on Buzz. Yay.
No cooties on the phone. Well, thank you all. I'm going to do our opening affirmation for today. We're not ready for the announcements quite yet, Marcia, but we'll be up with those pretty soon. But the CSL theme for today is the same title as our Sunday lesson, Question Everything. So what CSL points out is that children ask a lot more questions than we do as adults. And as they do this, it helps their growing situation. They learn more and they grow. And what the lesson for CSL says, and I'm sure we're going to hear this same thing from Reverend Pam and Lissa, is that as we continue to ask questions in our lives, we will continue to learn new things. And the learning aspect of life will continue to help us grow. And as we grow and as we learn, we will stay healthier as we grow into our years. I've learned that over the past 76 years because that's where I am now. So it's a great lesson, and we'll hear more. So the bottom line, CSL has this note on there. Questions hold possibilities, so why not question everything? We're going to learn more about that today, but right now I'd like to start our morning with an opening affirmation, so everybody can now close their eyes. Go within, and as you are within, listen to these words and make them your own. For I know that right here and right now, in this singular moment, in the continuing, eternal evolution of the time-space continuum, there is one source to everything that is in existence. That source is God. There is one God, there is one source. I'm from that source. I'm connected with that source simply through that aspect of life itself. And through that connection with the source that we call God, I am connected with everything else from that source. Everything, everyone that is in this universe is connected to me. And as I recognize and realize that connection and move forward with that connection with my main motivation being love, and adding to that kindness and compassion and sharing and caring as I can when I can, giving, I know that these same aspects of life will be coming back to me through the oneness of God. And for this connection and for this realization, I do thank God. And so as I know that we will learn more about how questioning the aspects of life in our life will help us to learn more, help us be more connected with God, help us grow and stay healthier, I am ready to hear what this lesson will be for all of us right here and right now. And with these words and this affirmation and this connection with God, I do release them to the infinite oneness that God represents, knowing that that will be easy to take care of the details while I continue to find ways to enjoy life and move forward in my growth. Thank you, God, and we can close by all saying together, and so it is. And so it is now the time for what's up next is a YouTube video that we will reveal. Let's see. Oh, it's right. It's a YouTube video. It's a great billboard television. Titled, Love is Real.
Outside the confusion, time is just an illusion. Only love is real. aside the confusion. Leave behind your illusions. Only love is real. Only love is real. Only love is real. Only love is real.
Thank you, Bill. That is absolutely amazing. Very well done. And so sing-alongable, very sing-alongable. I don't think we got nearly enough buzz. How about bringing Buzz back up here for the announcements?
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. My name's Buzz. Here's what's happening today. Well, thank you for watching us here on the Sunday number 4. Our Rev Pam and Lissa Coffey will provide a lesson that will score each of you a closer connection with God and Spirit. Asking questions is their title, and very soon we will hear it. I'm very excited to hear what they both have to say. For now, here are the announcements for today. At 7 p.m. Thursdays on Facebook Live, our midweek spiritual uplift will boost your divine drive. My good wife Lynn is host for this Intuitism session. That's for you. You'll discover the power of spiritual inquiry through this lesson you'll want to tune into. At 4 o'clock p.m. today, the 4th Sunday of this month, Lissa Coffey will be hosting a class you will want. The wisdom of Vedanta enlightens our lives, thereby ensuring our divine purpose thrives. Swami Mahayogananda, if I pronounced it right, Swami Mahayogananda is this month's special guest, and his Swami Vivekananda journey will make you feel blessed. You can join with Swami M and Lissa this Sunday afternoon, so Constant Contact has the link for let you join in on Zoom. Now, beginning in February, a 6-week class will take place on Zoom. Specific dates, times, and fees will be announced soon. This new class is based on Janet Connor's book entitled The Lotus and the Lily. So please come and take a look and discover how you can manifest all your deepest desires from the wisdom of the Buddha and Jesus, whose wisdom inspires. It will be hosted by Rev Pam and Lynn Chaplin Noe. These lessons will provide a very positive, emotional flowy. Keep in mind that our center is here for you, so please let us know what we can do. The spiritual treatment that we provide will reveal your perfection and allow you to thrive. You can always leave a request by phone or send us an email from wherever you roam. We hope to soon again be able to meet here live in our center, still dedicated to help us all thrive. Your loving donations to keep our center going, so we can be here to keep your wellness flowing. Later we will list the online ways to give, so please do donate from wherever you live. 2 other places where you can lend a hand. Please do give them whatever you can. Ventura County Rescue Mission provides the homeless with much good, and Ventura County Food Share feeds the needy in our hood. A reminder that our center is part of Ralph's Community Contribution Program. A portion of whatever you spend at the store gives our center a small donation or more. So please do sign up or simply renew, and Ralph's will contribute at no cost to you. Our center's code number is JE859. You can sign up at the store or you can do it online. Another way to help our center for a while is to shop online using Amazon Smile. When you complete your purchase for the items that you got, it donates to our center right on the spot. And finally, this month has one more Sunday to share, so let's all take some time to thank God for care. And now a Lissa Coffey video entitled, Do You Know Who You Are? You can watch this video from wherever you are. Here it is.
Do you know who you are? Do you know from where you came? When you understand the truth, life will never be the same. Never was there a time when there was not a we. Never will there come a time when any of us cease to be. Do you know who you are? You're not this body, this garment that gets shed. You are what continues on this infinite thread. You cast off worn out clothes, and those that you outgrow. The soul casts off a worn-out shell and enters into one that's new. Do you know who you are? Death is certain for the body, and for this you should not grieve. The Atma who dwells in each of us is indestructible and free. It can't be cut or burnt. It can't be wet or withered. Eternal, all-pervading. It is the same forever, forever. The self is the one that's you, unmanifest, unchanging. Therefore know it to be so. You won't waste your time breathing. Death comes to all who are born. It is unavoidable. Birth comes to those who die as a part of the karmic cycle. Do you know who you are? But the self dwelling in all bodies never dies, cannot be slain. Though the body may be wounded, the soul doesn't feel any pain. Consider your own dharma, from which you should not waver. Do your duty as a warrior, and don't refuse this righteous labor. As you've said you would, your very honor is at stake. Do your best and fight for what's good. There are no errors you can make. If you die, you'll go to heaven, and if you win, you'll enjoy it. Therefore, arise, Arjuna, and resolve to show your worth, 'cause you know
So good morning, everyone. Thank you, Buzz, for cleaning the microphone. I'm Pamella Bailey. As Pam announced me earlier, I've been the lead practitioner for quite some time here, and I'd like to introduce present here, although you won't see them, the other practitioners and ministers. So if you would say your name. Marcia Beebe back there on the video. And I'm Pamella Bailey, as I said, and we are here to pray affirmatively with you, to know that there is that answer and that it is within, and that we find it by centering and allowing that spirit to speak to us. So I have a couple of quotes, but first on this whole thing of question everything, I was contemplating that, and I love the thought. And then I was remembering, when I was like between 10 and 15, I was the Sunday school teacher's fondest dream, because I was there every week and I always had done my reading and, the lessons, and their worst nightmare, because every time they would say something that didn't make sense to me, my hand was up, what, why, and challenging it every week. I don't know how they put up with me, but I appreciated it. So I have a couple of quotes on this theme of wonder and questioning and being in that inquiry. So the first one is from one of my favorites, Albert Einstein. And he said, this was amazing that he actually said this, I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious. Yes. Okay, and the second one is from a woman named Jacqueline Winspear, from a book called Maisie Dobbs. And this is, truth walks toward us on the paths of our questions. Wait a while in the stillness, and do not rush to conclusions, no matter how uncomfortable the unknowing. And veering off from quotes for a moment, one of the things that I have discovered is that if we go into a question looking to make ourselves right, that's not a good question. But if we put aside, and this is for me especially, if I put aside all that I know and all that I think I know, and I'm simply in the inquiry, that's where the magic shows up. And so the last quote is from Ernest Holmes, our founder. He says, we believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. So if you would join me in a morning prayer here, our second or third prayer of the day, but we like to pray. So assume a comfortable position, close your eyes if you wish, and just take a moment to be present in that quiet, in that space where everything is possible, in that space where my highest self lives in union with God. And so as I just relax into that holy space, I know that I am one with God, one with Source, one with all of it. And that is a tremendous power, and it is a tremendous gift that I can choose how to live my life. And so as I unite with that and with God, I know that my words, my thoughts, my actions, all of them are powerful. And they are powerful in the place of creation. Creation with the indwelling spirit, creation with God itself. And they are one with that which is unfolding. And as our wonderful Reverend Betty Ann used to say, my life is unfolding perfectly, no matter what. And I let go of wanting to control it. I let go of it having to be a certain way. And I just allow the divine presence, the divine guidance, the divine wisdom to point the way, to show me what there is to do next, to show me who I came to be and what I came to do. And for that, I'm grateful. And this day, as I look forward to those things that are occurring in this beautiful day, I'm grateful for all of life. And I'm grateful for the people who have been in my life and the people who ongoingly are a wonderful part of this life. And I am so grateful for this teaching and this center. And we absolutely are here for you, even though it's virtual for right now. And I give thanks for all of this. I give thanks for our health, our vitality. I give thanks that we are able to gather here together and via technology reach out to you. And in that gratitude, I release this prayer, knowing all is well and it is already unfolding. And if you would, say with me, and so it is. And now I have the pleasure of introducing the live Bill Rotella. Yay!
All right. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually watch this. For our YouTube, our Facebook listeners, I'm going to even do this. A little guitar in there, see? Because sometimes you can't hear the guitars, you know. Yeah. All right. This is also known as the center of freestyle. You hear Lynn just freestyling, Buzz freestyling, Pam just freestyling. It's amazing. And then we get, Pam and Lissa next. Oh, okay, so I was in the sun the other day, and I'm going, oh my gosh, spring is coming. And I started thinking about the desert, which I love. So I wrote the song about the desert and the spiritual feeling I have when I go to the desert. This is called Desert Moon. Hear the silence call, see the moonlight fall upon her knees. Come unpack your thoughts, give her what you've lost, surrender, you're free. Tonight the morning will come too soon. Restless stars will be on the move. The angels will bathe in the shade of this desert moon. Now is not too late. Come and take your place, she's waiting. Like an endless sky, sit beneath the night and watch the day escaping. Tonight the morning will come too soon. Restless stars will be on the move. The angels will bathe in the shade of this desert moon. Like a morning sun, like a midnight sun, she calls to you. Hear the evening howl, she wants you now, give into this full moon. Tonight the morning will come too soon. Restless stars will be on the move. The angels will bathe in the shade of this desert moon. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So as I come up and I invite Lisa up too, and I'll put you there. Okay. Put you in your place.
Okay. I'm on this side. This is my good side anyway.
This is my good side.
Why haven't we done this before
Why
then?
you didn't do it
Oh
earlier.
my gosh.
It's
Oh
not
my
funny,
gosh.
yeah. And I'll do this one. And so our talk is today, and it's wonderful to be with Lisa and Bill. Just fabulous. You have not played. I know that's an original composition. What album is that on? Amber and Smoke. It is just a beautiful, beautiful song, and wonderful to be in your presence always. So today we are talking about Question Everything, and way before Albert Einstein was Euripides, and way before Timothy Leary too, who said Question Everything in the 60s, was Euripides in the 4th century BC, and he basically said question everything, be open and listen. Be cynical and be open and listen, though, and to everything that's being said. And today, and even more recently, Don Miguel Ruiz, who wrote the 4 Agreements, and then with his son, Don Jose Ruiz, they wrote the 5th Agreement, which is also be in the question. Question everything, because again, what we hear today, especially in the media, is not necessarily the truth. The days, I say, of Walter Cronkite with just the facts. Now I'm going to date myself like Jack Webb. Just the facts, ma'am. Just the facts. But no longer exist. It's so swayed. Everything is swayed. And just before I turn this over, this is nothing new. Since the beginning of time, and especially when Hollywood was brand new, the people that made Hollywood so beautiful had such high ideals, and they came, as many did, from horrible backgrounds, from repression. They were mainly the Jews from Russia that came and created the film industry. And what they created was what they wanted, not what they had in Russia, but the idyllic life that they had always desired. And so they came in with these high morals and these high aspirations, and they put them on film, and they literally shaped America. They shaped America from the 20s, 30s, and 40s because they had the Andy Hardys and the Judy Garlands and the Somewhere Over the Rainbow and all of those things, the white picket fences, the pretty windows as you walk down the main street with a howdy and a hi with all your neighbors, the front porches, and that was what America came. So the power of the media, we now know, shapes a world. And what they gave us was a shadow self of who we are. And now I pass this on to you, Lisa.
That's so cool. I didn't know a lot of that stuff. That's very interesting. When I think, we're questioning everything, what questions are we asking, first of all? And who are we asking? Who are we asking these questions of? And it basically all comes down to we're asking ourselves, right? What are the big questions in life? I mean, we've all seen those cartoons with the guy who climbs up the mountain, keeps climbing, and he sees a guy at the top, the guru, and he says, what is the meaning of life? And then there's a million different punchlines. But isn't that true for all of us, that we get to a certain point in life and we're like, okay, well, that was fun. Well, that was fun. Well, that was fun. Well, wait. And then you get to the point where it's like, what is this all about? What is the point? What am I here for? So the big questions in life, and Ramana Maharshi, who was a great non-dual teacher in India, he said, you can learn so much just by asking, who am I? And whenever anyone would ask him any question, he would say, close your eyes and ask yourself this question, who am I? Don't worry about getting any answers, but keep asking, keep asking, keep asking. And it's like that onion peeling away. You peel off the layers. You know, who am I? I'm a person. I'm a teacher. I'm a wife. All those roles we play. Those things change all the time. Who are we when we get right down to the core of it, to the one thing that never, ever, ever, ever changes? So who am I is the big question. What is my purpose? What am I doing here? What do you want from me, right? What is this all about? This is so good that we're asking these questions because so many people are just sleepwalking through life, going to the job thinking this is all about, the money, working for the paychecks. You can go to the mall at the weekends and spend the paycheck. Getting, a car so you can just get the newer model that comes out, or the newer iPhone, or the newer. But is that fulfilling? Does that feed us? Does it give us what we're looking for? What are we looking for? I think we're all looking for that peace that passed this all understanding, right? So one way we can get there is just by asking ourselves, who am I?
It's so interesting because we did do these exercises when I was in ministerial too, where you sat across from someone and you had to keep getting, who am I, until their answer got down to, it always did eventually. It might have taken an hour, but eventually the soul. We are the soul that came here to express so uniquely and perfectly. But in this time of COVID, one of the things that has happened is many of us have chosen to take more time to be meditative and to get deeper into the great beyond within, I always say, because it is there for us, and sometimes how it manifests is different. Lynn and I are doing this class, The Lotus and the Lily, and Buzz said, well, what have you manifested? Because I did this about a month ago online for just meditations, but I did it privately at home. And I said, gosh, let me think about this. I had so many miracles manifest from just getting in touch with my deepest desires. And some of them, I didn't even think about, nor do I think about my deepest desires. I'm like normal. It's like, how do I make the house payment? All those things, all the material things come into the world. And when I sat and I said, Buzz, I said, I can't even tell you, this has been miraculous what has happened in these last 18 months. And one of them is I had already planted the seeds, and my daughter wanted this also. Nobody ever sells their house where I live. Now, mind you, there's only like 6 or 7 houses on our end of a dirt road. So that's one of the reasons. But I've always felt like in paradise. We have quiet, there's no street lights or anything else. And so I suggested to my daughter, why don't you build a house behind me, And that was not going to be possible. And then 3 months later, the woman whose husband built the house sold her house. She'd been there 50 years. And she sold her house, and my daughter not only was able to buy that acreage, she was able to come up with the money for it, which was amazing to me. And then a few months after that, my son bought a house that was only about 5 minutes from me. Now, I don't know about them, but I got all my wishes. And they're probably regretting it that's my son-in-law. No, actually, it's my son-in-law's birthday today. I don't think he's watching, but happy birthday, Ian. And he is funny and fun and always teases me about, I always do the family prayers, and he always says, and so it is. So it is. But also, he does a lot. So the things that manifest, you don't even think about them in the material world. I get to see my grandkids every day. And that is a deepest desire except I haven't for the last 10 days because they all got COVID. So anyway, but they're all getting a negative. I've always wanted them positive, but now I'm happy to see them negative, including my niece Winnie. Anyway, go ahead. Your turn.
So you made me think of a good point here. So when we are in meditation or when we are asking these questions, when we get an answer, we have to trust it. We have to have faith. And Vedanta is called Shraddha. And it's this faith, this conviction. And last night I saw the movie Cyrano. Have you guys seen the new version with Peter Dinklage? It is so good. Oh my gosh. It's the same story that we're familiar with. But instead of Cyrano having the big nose like he does in the theater story, he's Peter Dinklage, right? And instead of just being this shy guy, he's this very confident actor and soldier and swordsman and everything, right? But he pines for Roxanne. And it's interesting because he has so much confidence in battle and everything, even being, you know, a little person who's up against these big, I mean, talk about David and Goliath type of thing, and he beats them. He can fight 10 people at once and win. And it's because he has that confidence, right? He knows who he is. But when it comes to Roxanne, he doesn't know who he is. He forgets. He hides behind the words. You know, the Christian, the other guy who's in love with Roxanne, he doesn't have the mind, the heart, the soul, but he's in love with Roxanne and he's gorgeous. So it's like the two of them become this one person. And the sad part, the tragedy, I don't want to give anything away, but you guys know the story anyway. The tragedy is that Roxanne loved the words. She loved Cyrano because she loved his soul. And when he's dying, Cyrano finally confesses that it was him. And she says, don't you know, I've loved you all along. It was you. It was always you. And he said, and I loved my pride. And it's heartbreaking because it's like he didn't trust who he knew he was. He didn't have that trust. He could do it in any other area of his life. But he was so afraid of rejection and so afraid of the what if that he couldn't go that extra step the whole time. And it's like his whole life was wasted, you know. So it's tragic. We don't want to let that happen to us. We don't want to get caught up in the well, but, or the what if, or the whatever. We need to know who we are and run with it, believe it, trust it, embrace it, go for it, and nothing can stop us.
That was wonderful. And I remember seeing Heath Ledger in, who would have been a great, anyway, in one of those time frames. And he also it was a takeoff on Cyrano, where he's in love with the princess and someone else is doing all the words. And so he spouts these words and she's so entranced. And then when she finds out it's not who he is, he then has to find out who he is. And then he says from his heart, and she loves him even more, even though they're not the perfect words, the spirit behind it. And so that is what we're looking for. We're looking for that spirit behind it. And so how do we get there? We continue to live in the question because the answers are always available to us. But once we know all the answers, I feel like I'm ignoring the cast of thousands over here. Until we know who we are, how can we bring anything authentic to the plate? And how many relationships have we had that have not been authentic? And then you get and you go, oh my gosh, this is going nowhere because I have never been in touch with the depth of who I am, the height of who I am, in Peter's case, and whatever it takes to do that. So it may come sometimes when we're in our meditative parts as a download all of a sudden where you get the truth of being. And I call that the mystic, Scott, that I always say in that nanosecond. They knew that they knew that they knew that they were here for eternity, and that this time is like that blip in time, but it is so important, because it is so important to take with what we are given, get to the truth, and then act from that truth. And I go back to the media again. We have to, you take all the information in that you can, and then find truth of being. And I always say the 4 agreements, I'm going to go back to them. Be impeccable with your word. Don't personalize. Do your best. I can't remember. What's the 4th one here? Don't personalize, but there's the other one. It doesn't matter. And the 5th one is be in the question. Be in the question. You don't know everything on this planet. And so, exactly. Go ahead, Lisa.
There's no dumb questions. That's the truth. Ignorance is beginningless. There's no beginning to ignorance. There's so many things in this world that we don't know. How are we going to know unless we ask? Right? Although ignorance has a beginninglessness, it has an end. What is that end? Knowledge. Knowledge solves ignorance. So when we know who we are, we don't forget. We don't forget. We just have to really claim it. And how do we get to that knowledge? How do we go from ignorance to knowledge? We ask questions. We get an education. When young guys come in to be monks in Vedanta, the older monks always say, what's your education? It's kind of like, not just like, you're going to expect us to teach you everything. What are you bringing with you? What experiences are you bringing with you that you're going to add to all of this? Because we're going to learn from each other. And they also say, before you become a monk, you must become a gentleman. What is your life experience? How do you treat people? Let's see. What have you learned from your life? All of those things are solved with knowledge.
And again, if you stay in the question, then there is an opening for you in all of this. So I'm going to close with today, all of us are the dream makers. And the dream is the real reality. It is not the shadow life. It is the reality of who we are. And who we are is so much greater than we ever imagined. And some of us are lucky. Some of us were nurtured. I imagine Bill was nurtured in music, because I know his background with his father. His father was famous, and a famous musician. And his mom. Yeah, what did you... I knew she was a musician, but... Oh, Chattanooga. Oh, my God. His uncle wrote, his mother's brother wrote Chattanooga Choo Choo and String of Pearls. You were nurtured. Hero. Heroine. Oh, my gosh. I did. Oh, my gosh.
See, that just brings up another important point, not to interrupt your
No, that's
beautiful
okay.
ending, but okay, we all need some kind of a teacher, a guide, a mentor to look up to in this life, whether it's a parent or a pastor or minister, a monk, somebody who we can follow in their footsteps. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We don't have to do it all by ourselves. We just have to look to the many beautiful examples there are out there for us.
Oh, and I won't even name them. I've had so many in my life. I've been so fortunate in my life to ride on the coattails of many other people. And I'm still doing it. I still am doing it. And you're one of them.
Reverend Sue and you, yeah.
So when we remain inquisitive, life is an endless opportunity for us to be open and receptive to learning new things. Also, like I just learned about Bill's background and how he was saturated with that which made his soul sing. And it's amazing. Now, it would be interesting if you turned out to be just an engineer or something, but still you would have had that love and that rhythm. Well, music's mathematical, so yeah, so it's very mathematical. I've done studies, and people who are mathematical are usually musical, and they take to languages easily too. And people who are more how do I say, right-brained, not that they're more right-brained, but more in that creative flow, don't have those abilities. So it is a combination of many things. So I'm going to close with what I think is that when we experience, when we're open and reflective, we can see the wonders of everyday glory all around us, and we can breathe it in and embrace it. And as Ernest said so eloquently, and this is paraphrasing, there is that one creative power, this one love. When we plant the seeds into this creative soil and we change our thinking, we change our perceptions, which changes our actions and creates our smallest desires and dreams to become woven into the fabric of the greatest realities that have manifested on this planet. And so it is. Keep asking. Keep asking and keep listening. And so it is. Yay! And now it's our bill again. Our bill. I'm so territorial. I'm very territorial here. Oh, wait. I brought these up so I didn't have to 2 out of 3 falls with the wipes.
Oh, God. I got a story about that. I'll talk about it after the center. Okay, let me do this. So, mic drop. All right. Yeah, right. Yeah, here's the bill, yeah. You know how when you know something, you know something? And no matter what anyone tells you, sorry, I know what I know, right? I mean, truly, like something that speaks to you that doesn't matter what you've experienced it or you know it. So, I've had some, I'm not going to get into it, but I've had some incredible, like supernatural things happen where you go, and because I'm like really in tune with it from a lot of my learning here, I'm open. You know, the window's open, man, like way open. And I'm going, what was that? That just, so I had this visitation, an incredible visitation, right after my dad passed away. And it was, I'll never forget it, of course. And it really made me start questioning things. Like, I really started asking the questions, like, okay, wait a minute. Like, what is the deal here, And the more I kept thinking about it, more started happening. Like, I started becoming more aware of it. So I had this one visitation that I had to write about. This is called Dragonfly. Hey, can you hear the rhyme of the wind and the mission bell is ringing again? I'm trying, I think it's time. I search in the sky, dragonfly. Sometimes I feel miles from home, watching my world spinning below. I've casted my doubt close to shore. Now I'm ready to fly into the eye of the storm. I'm trying. Sometimes I cry. I'm searching the sky. Dragonfly. Sometimes I feel miles from home, watching my world spinning below. We are tied together, we've been torn in two. All forevers, the end too soon. Sometimes I feel miles from home, watching my world spinning out of control. We're miles from home. We're miles from home. We're miles from home. Dragonfly. That's it.
Yeah, and what was his famous song?
He wrote, well, he's got a couple, but his most successful was the Sinatra, Nothing But the Best.
Yeah, wow. Wow, wow, wow. And so now it is my honor. And by the way, I am so with you on the woo-woos. I call them the woo-woos. Yeah, the afterlife coming to coming to us. And I can't help myself. I'm just going to tell a fast story. And you probably already heard it, is my Patrick. I had conversations with Patrick for years, and I still do. But when my grandson was being born, it was kind of close to my birthday, not that much close. And I said, Patrick, if this is you coming in, I know it's a new soul, different karmic path. You'll be born on my birthday. And sure enough, Ronan was born on my birthday 3 weeks late, with my daughter cussing the whole way running up and down the beach because she wanted that baby to come. She was saying, damn my mother, damn my mother, damn my mother, doing squats and everything else. So I feel like it is that eternal life. That's it. So together, before Lenny comes up, we're going to read our offertory. Out there in TV land, too, in Facebook land, together. Divine love blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is, and that's the way it is. And now I invite our wonderful Rev. Lynn Chaplain Noe to come up for our yes. Oh, here. I took him out early, too. I figured out it would save us time.
We have so much fun. I love Sunday mornings here. You spoke about your mentors, and my mentor regarding prosperity and regarding the idea and the activity of giving. My mentor, Dr. Tom Johnson, always said, I only have what I'm giving. And as my second favorite quote of his, which was always in prayer, the infinite abundance of God is mine to eternally share. It's because we know that money is God in action. So let's have a wonderful prosperity prayer now. And I'm going to do my very best to remember my mentor's prosperity prayer. So let's close our eyes, please. and in this beautiful, abundant, expansive consciousness that's been created today for all of us know these truths. That I affirm now and always that there is one power, one presence, one way of life. This is all God, forever full and complete. And since I am God's limitless means to reveal itself, then I reveal the richness and the fullness that I already am. Prosperity is what I am, and prosperity is what I continually reveal. I give abundantly to all that I do, and to this spiritual center, this source of my spiritual life. I prosper. The world prospers. This church prospers. And the world is blessed. And together we say, and so it is. Oh, thank you, Dr. Tom. I remembered the whole thing. Hey, everybody, come on up here and let's sing some songs. Let's sing the big song, the important one. The big one. Oh, and while you're all up here and we're abundantly supplied with people right here and now, there are many ways to give to our center. And you can send it to our www.csl-pleasantvalley.org, and you can donate on Zelle, I think Zelle. And I want to remind you, we have our pointing girl here. I want to remind you that if you are watching this, there should be options there for you on your computer or on your screen. And so now we sing.
I just want to say one more thing, and the other manifestation was that this church remains open because of the love from all the people up here and for you out there. And so many of the church...
Oh,
Drop the mic moment.
mic dysfunction.
Mic dysfunction. I'm glad there's no mics up here. Anyway, so on this note, we'll sing the peace song, but it's because of all of you. Thank you, and thank you, Bill, Pamela, Lynn, Buzz, and absolutely Lisa, and we'll see you at 4 on Zoom. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Are you ready? Hold on. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. When God has created family are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me, and this is the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with you. And all of us. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. I know it in my mind. I feel it in my body. I see it in my life. And so it is.
Woo! And Marcia, thank you